Well, we may finally know what Nintendo's mysterious online playtest is all about. And as it turns out, it's not a Meet for Success or some kind of streaming service. It actually is, in fact, a game, which is a little weird considering Nintendo's considering or calling it a feature, but I guess it technically is a feature of the Switch Online Expansion Pack service. In any case, the program opened up last night to the participants, all 10,000 of them, allowing them access to a downloadable, which doesn't become active until the 23rd, I believe, along with some information about the game in the form of an online FAQ. Now, this information technically wasn't supposed to have been shared, and as proof of this, we have poor Ethan here, who says, hope Nintendo doesn't kill me for this. And Ethan, I'm sorry to say, you're as good as dead, as all their images were taken down by, presumably, Nintendo. So, yeah. In any case, we were able to take a look at these details, and we're going to tell you everything we know at this point. Now, it doesn't give a great idea of how the moment-to-moment gameplay works, but we do have a pretty good idea of the overall goal and scope of the game at this point. And as it turns out, the whole point of this game is to basically transform planets. So you play these little astronaut guys, and evidently you land on these planets, and your goal is to transform and develop it into something I assume is much nicer than what's there at the start. You do this by using things called beacons, which you apparently gain access to you drop on the ground, it creates a beacon zone, which is a lighted area in which you work more efficiently, and in which you then use your other tools you have access to help develop this land. And there's a map you can use to it's called a development positioning system, or DPS, to see what other people are doing on the planet as well. You can see where they're at, and perhaps their beacon zones as well. And yeah, you use these beacon zones, you work and develop the planet, and then you move on, I guess, and repeat the process, because you just keep doing that until the planetary block is fully developed. Now, I don't know if planetary block refers to the entire planet. I'm guessing it's more of a region within the planet, so then I guess you move on to the next block thereafter until the whole planet is evidently transformed. And as far as I don't think we know how many people are working together on this. My guess is quite a few, perhaps bigger than the 99 game, but as far as I know, we don't know exactly how many players are in it. Though we do know that you can go to a place called the Dev Core, which is a kind of like a meeting area for everyone that's online, where you can go to socialize, I guess. You can level up your character, you can gain items, and do other things there as well. When it comes to leveling up, you do earn dev points by developing the planet, which you can then use to raise your level and then obtain better items for future development. And that's pretty much it. That's most of the details we know. There are some screenshots in there. They didn't really show off a whole lot more, but I do want to cover the main details here because I thought they were interesting, and even if I don't quite understand how it's all coming together, like, I don't know if I get where the fun is yet at this point, or the game essence, if you will, as Sakurai would say, which, by the way, his final video is coming out soon, even though I don't think it has any relation to this, but we'll keep an eye on that, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. It'll be 40 minutes, but we're getting off topic here, because that's everything we know about this online playtest, and that apparently is the downloadable for the game goes by the same name that we've heard. So we don't even have an actual name for this game yet, sadly. All we know is you play as low dudes, you transform planets, you get points, and you move on to the next one when you do it. Oh, there is one other detail I left out, and it does apply to the gameplay, actually, the gameplay essence, if you will, maybe, because apparently the higher up the beacon is, the more efficient it is.
I have the high ground!
Because it can actually cast its light or increase its zone to a wider area. So that sounds like that might be an important part of the gameplay, where you try to get the higher area and drop the beacon to maximize your coverage. So that sounds pretty interesting too. And also, if you lose your beacon, there are ways to find it, including using the DPS system, I believe. So don't worry, you won't lose access to them, or you won't be able to not find it later on, it seems. So yeah, I'm curious again to see how this actually works, even if we may technically not supposed to get gameplay of it. I'm sure some will leak out, and we'll cover it as soon as it does to give you more information on what exactly this game even is. But yeah, what do you think of this? Are you upset now you didn't get into the program? Do you not care? I'm curious to know what people are thinking based on these limited details we have so far. And again, I'm curious to see how it actually ends up playing in full, and what Nintendo's actual full plan is for this. My gut reaction is I'm not too upset about not getting into the program, because it doesn't sound that interesting, but again, maybe once we actually see it in action, it'll make a lot more sense. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think of this, and with that, we'll catch